So, Minnie Dlamini released a statement after the misogynistic comments made about her on the podcast and Chill podcast by MacG.
After this guy, it's me. Keep lying. Bro, I'm telling you, man, there's gotta be something wrong with her. Like maybe a coochie smells or something, bro.
No.
Yeah.
And I loved the response. You can go on her Instagram page to read the full thing. But I loved her response because she's actually holding them accountable, which is something that in South Africa generally doesn't happen to men. The men in South Africa are allowed to say whatever they like, whenever they like, and are never really called to task, which is mainly the reason that we have for why things like gender based violence is as out of control as it is. So, from a personal point of view, I have only watched the podcast and chill podcast twice. And both times I stopped watching it halfway, specifically because some of the commentary is clearly very uneducated, and for the most part, they focus on pop culture things and talking about other people. But the way that some of those topics are addressed is clearly very naive. There's something that MacG said once that I was just like, wait, do you have any idea what is coming out of your mouth right now and what it is you are telling people on this very, very popular podcast? Um, but what I loved about what Minnie Dlamini said was that they apologized, but it was only basically to cover up their own uh, um to kind of give people a better impression about them and to save themselves because they were being really taken apart online. And then also the fact that she is going to hold them accountable, which is something in South Africa does not happen. We don't hold men who are just willy nilly saying and doing whatever they want all over the place accountable. Because as a culture, we are taught two things. Number one, men are allowed to do whatever they want and get away without any consequences. We see this with most of our celebrities in this country. And then number two, women are also not standing up for one another the way that they should. This is why someone can go to the prom in Cape Town and protest for Palestine and watch their neighbor be abused and leave it alone, right? We are culturally taught to stay out of other people's business. This is why we don't call people out to the degree that we should. These people should be cancelled. The second they start to talk about women in such a degrading way, they should be cancelled, which means our money needs to be where our mouths are. We need to stop supporting people who just feel like they can do whatever they want, throw in a half hearted apology, and they just continue as though nothing happened. There need to be real consequences for this behavior, and it needs to be from a governmental level all the way down to the people on the ground. The biggest issue we have in South Africa is accountability. There's a specific reason why specifically gender-based violence is not taken seriously on a governmental level. Number one, they're trying to protect their own. And number two, if they have to do something about it, they have to start holding the people who are actually abusers in government accountable for the things that they do. Right? But because number one, we don't really fully understand what abuse entails, how psychology is involved, and the processes that happen in abusive relationships, because we are too lazy to learn what that is. We don't understand how comments like the ones that MacG made impact an entire generation. This generation is already struggling with understanding how relationships function, and we allow people in our open cultural spaces and in celebrity spaces to literally do as they please and get away with it. So I highly commend Minnie Dlamini for taking action the way she has, for taking her time to respond as concisely and as detailed as she has, because she has called them out for exactly who they are. Their character displays itself very loudly on their podcast if you watch it. And we see this on many podcasts in South Africa and around the world. We need to start implementing a culture where we actually have consequences for these actions, because we cannot continue men to willy-nilly comment on women's bodies the way that they like online. I've actually seen Christian podcasters talk about women's sexual lives online, and when they were called out for it, everybody defended them. Nobody has permission to talk about your body or anything about even something you said just as easily as they want without there having to be consequences. So we need to really sit back and consider where we sit, both women and men, what our idea number one of patriarchy is, right? I'm not a feminist, but also where we stand on topics like feminism. where we stand on topics like what is okay to discuss when it comes to women, relationships, sex, our bodies. What is okay and what isn't okay? We don't have those conversations in our homes. We don't have those conversations in our schools, and especially online where everything flies. We are not calling people for being disgusting in their behavior and the comments that they make, and actually giving them real consequences for the stupid comments that they make that are clearly not educated. People who don't understand the fundamental effect of the things that they say should not have platforms to this degree. And the fact that they have so much people following what it is they say on a daily basis is proof that we are not teaching our society what is appropriate and how to treat women in an appropriate, respectful way. And that is a scary prospect.